And I'm so happy to have met you.
I actually wrote something out and have proceeded to keep it in my pocket. One of the things when I think of Roberta is of a life well lived. And when I think of a life well lived, I think of the impact that we can make. We all know the impact that Roberta makes on the college. And even though she's retired, what's retired? She's in the office next to me. She's still there. The college is still benefiting from Roberta. But what amazes me is when you go out in the community and you mention Levin, people say to you, one of the first things they'll say is, do you know Roberta Steinbacher? And it always is followed by an anecdote. Roberta did this for me. Roberta did this for my organization. I can't tell you how many times people have said that to me. And I think it also shows that Roberta's impact goes far beyond these doors, because she takes everything she has taught us out there. And, you know, the slogan of the college is changing urban America one graduate at a time. And I really think the impact of Roberta's life is all of us out there. So thanks, Roberta.
My name is Bill Denny, and Roberta has been a colleague, my mentor, and my friend. And when I go in that order, I met Roberta in 1984 when Governor Celeste selected her and I to do the Pay Equity Gender Study Committee for all public employees in the state of Ohio. I don't know if you remember that, Roberta, but the impact that that study had in terms of pay equity really set the stage for many, many people that are not here today that are enjoying what you did then almost 30 years ago. As a mentor, I found myself over here one day talking to Roberta, and she found out that I did not have a degree, and she would not leave the building until I signed up. That's the story. And she got me to do the life study program, and I am so proud to have received my bachelor's degree in 1998 from this college. As a late bloomer, at that time I had 2 children and a grandson in the college all at the same time. And in our house, you had to put your report card on the refrigerator. And it was a great time. So she mentored me through that, and I just love you dearly for that. As my friend, when I was over at Children and Family Services, she called me up one day and she says, you know, the state has these grants for public workers to work on weekends. And why don't you see if you could get some over at Children and Family Services? We not only got some, we got many. And I don't know if you remember the number, Roberta, 226 people, I think over a 4-year period, received their master's degree from this college due to Roberta going through that program. That's the impact of people that are not here. An extraordinary impact that you've had with individuals over the years has been, quite frankly, extraordinary, which is an understatement. I love you. You've had a tremendous impact. Mary would be here without this horrendous toothache. She sends her love to you. Thank you, Roberta.
So I'm not very good at this, but I'll try. So I met Roberta when she came back from Columbus, and she didn't talk to me for a whole year. And then she became one of my best friends. She became my best friends at the college. And I heard what Debbie said about you're not supposed to criticize people in public, but I will go that far. And I'm going to tell you that I can't forgive her for retiring. She just totally destroyed my quality of life and completed it by moving away from where she was my office neighbor, and she moved to the 3rd floor. And it is no longer the same joy to come to work as when she was my direct neighbor. She's still here, but it's not the same. So I'm sorry for the critique. I have to also tell you that I have been often going out with Roberta for lunch, say, or for whatever we go out of the college together. And you have to plan for additional time when you go out with her, because at every corner and every block somebody stops her to hug her and thank her. So you have to really give it time. And I also want to tell you something that probably none of you know, which is that she gives a run for Google's money. If you want to go anywhere, you can ask Roberta where it is, and she gives you better directions than Google Maps. Just a mental note if you need to know. So thank you, Roberta, but I'm still angry that you're retired.
Hi, when I first started teaching undergraduate classes, Roberta was the director of undergrad programs. So I would often have some student situation come up that I was struggling with how to resolve it. And I would have, what I thought I should do in mind, and I would go down to talk to Roberta about it and seek her input. And she would often have a comment like, oh, that seems maybe harsh but fair, or something like that. And she would offer a nicer, more student-friendly alternative. And after that happens a few times, I'd be like, oh, I should probably talk to Roberta about this too. And I'd go down from my office down to Roberta's and kind of be prepared that this is going to be a solution that's nicer than the one I would probably opt for. So I told her the current situation that's going on and how I think I should handle it. And I said, oh, you might have something different in mind. She said, no, Brian, that's perfect. He pulls this crap every semester. But in all cases, she was always very helpful.
Anybody else? Others? No? Sure.
Hi, I'm Julie. I wasn't prepared to say anything. I echo everything that was said earlier, but I just want to share a story. When you think of Roberta, you think of what a strong woman she is. And I actually had an experience once where she made herself vulnerable, and Kathy Hexter and I had reached out to her to ask her if she would help us put together a forum on women religious and the contributions that they had made in making our city a better city. And she reluctantly agreed. And in the end, she gave one of the most beautiful, inspirational introductions to their contributions. But when we were planning, one day we were walking out of one of the conference rooms upstairs, and she said, I don't know if I can do this, Julie, with my sight. And it's such a reminder of how strong she is, and I just loved her in that moment that she would honor me by being vulnerable and offering the opportunity to reassure her, because she always reassures everybody else. And so it was just really a memorable time. So thank you.
Hi, Roberta. I know you hate this, I know you do. I'm Michaela Smith. I got my undergrad from Urban. I met Roberta through our dear friends, Tom and Peggy Campbell. I think when we met, I was sort of floundering, not really sure what I was supposed to do. I dropped out of Ohio State, and she said, well, just come down to Women's Day. And she's like, you live in an urban environment, come to the urban college. And I was like, well, okay. So I never actually had the privilege of having Roberta as a teacher, but I do hold her responsible for my graduate degree here, or my degree here. I now work here, and I've made tons of relationships through this college. So I'd like to thank you publicly for your mentorship and your guidance and your friendship, and I love you too.
Hi, Roberta. Dr. Callens mentioned we build a program with South China University of Technology. It's like a dual degree program. and there's a lot of work to do in terms of aligning the courses from two different universities. And Dr. Kelly mentioned I'm helping the dean. Actually, there's two other persons here in this building that have a lot to the program. One is Dr. Steinbacher, and the other is Mary, who is, I think she's right there somewhere. But anyway, since not only Dr. Kelly, but a few others mentioned, Dr. Steinbacher always puts students at the center. She knows all the details of all these courses we need to align so well, so make the whole transition so easy. And on top of that, she's probably know best about the university politics in this building. So the whole thing just becomes so easy because Roberta's involvement. I just want to really thank you for that. I wish you all the best for retirement. Right? I know we will never retire, but all right.
Anybody else? Once, twice, okay. I mentioned the memorabilia over there, and I want to acknowledge Mary Beckenbaugh for helping set all that up and finding all those pictures and collecting everything. Thank you very much. Okay, so thanks again for coming. I'm sorry I have to get my glasses out because. Oh yes. So where's the other microphone? Does it work? Because I think Roberta wanted to say a few words and. I don't know if they can see you, Roberta. You mind standing up?
Oh my dear. Thank you. Is it working? Yep. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. Very good. That's an Irish guy, Oscar Wilde, said that. Anyway, I'm trying to do this future, and a lot of you have helped me get into it, and I'm flunking it. I'm flunking retirement, as Schultz would say. But anyway, with your help and the 15 parties I've had, and I think I'll make it through retirement, but I don't know what that is really yet. I've been in it 5 months. But I don't want to cry here, but y'all make me cry, those of you who talk, and it's just so overwhelming, amazing, beautiful. Is there anyone here that I haven't said hello to yet? Would you just tell me? That's why I make sure I know who. Anybody? I can't tell, Steve.
I think we're good.
Good. Julie mentioned my problem. The main problem is trying to figure out the cosmic difference between sight and vision. I don't want to ever lose the latter. Anyway, thank you all, and is Patrick still here?
Yes.
Patrick, thank you. I want to say a bit about founding the college, and that bit would be you, because you and I are the only ones left in town, almost left on the planet, of that crowd back there. You all know where it is, right? The wall of founders. Patrick Sweeney and I, he did the Columbus bit and calmed down the president while we were doing the internal writing and lobbying and politics. So Patrick, thanks for coming. And Dr. Kellogg, you could have said Steinbacher and Kellogg on the last half of your list, because without you as an administrator and my other faculty colleagues, Sandra has never forgiven me, and Byron, thank you for all those wonderful things you said. But really, we did it together as a team, and hope we're still doing it.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, it took 5 years for that economic development major. That was longer than it took to get the college through politics. No kidding, 3 years longer than it took to get the college through the bureaucracy back in 76 and 77. Good. So, you know, somebody mentioned friends. We're all friends. I did something, did you mention this, Wendy? I tried to count how many students I had taught. And I came up with 6,350. There was probably some bad math in there, but hopefully it was good science. And it was a great ride. And I still have some, and I'm going to have some more. And so I want to hope that all those students, that includes everybody here, my GAs, thank you for coming, and Miranda's my current GA. Where are you, Miranda? She's helping with the
Somebody stepped out for a minute.
Apple program, Credit for Life Experience. So I hope we're all friends and remain friends. And I have to close with my favorite amen, and that is to paraphrase Yeats. Think where a woman's glory most begins and ends, and say, my glory was I had such friends. Thank you, love. Love you all.
All right. Thanks, Roberta. So thank you for coming. If you want to join the rest of CSU for homecoming, there's a parade at 5 o'clock. There's a Viking basketball fest at 6:30 in Wolstein. And then there's a concert, which is not free of charge, but somebody called Childish Gambino. I have no idea who or what Childish Gambino is, but he's a comedian? Oh, well, okay, good. Okay, so now it's my job as associate dean to hit you up for something. I mentioned that Dr. Steinbacher had funded 3 separate scholarship funds, and you met Megan Murphy, who was the recipient of one of those. You know, these help support our students and make their way, so I ask you to consider my request to make a contribution, either today or in the future, to one of these funds. And if you find out information at the table back there with Lindsay, I hope you'll find a way to do that if you can. As I mentioned before, if you have any ideas about where we might recruit students, colleagues that you work with, sons and daughters of colleagues, your own sons and daughters, but Credit for Life, if you know anyone who needs to complete a degree and they have a lot of professional experience, as Bill Dunn had mentioned. It is a relatively, I don't want to say painless, because it's not that it's not rigorous, but it is a tremendous way for people with professional experience to gain academic credit and build toward completing a degree, if that's something that you need, or you know people that you work with that could benefit from that. So we're looking for people who will, like all of you who have been through the college, will make a difference in public service and civic life, in rebuilding the city, doing all the things that our graduates do. Please let us know. Lindsay Hobson is the person best to contact in terms of recruitment. All right, so thank you all so much for coming today. We really, really appreciate it. I think we're gonna try to do a homecoming thing every year. I don't know if we'll be honoring Roberta again, but if she wants to come, we'll do it again. But again, thanks for coming and spending so much time with us today. And if any of you want to take a mom home, please feel free to do so. It's on the university. They gave us a little money for the batch, so please do that. I do not want to take them home. Okay? Anybody, go ahead. I really would like that really big one over there, though, too. But all right, thank you so much, and have a great rest of the week.
All right.
Mary's here 2 days ago. Kind of seeing my daughter.
Thank you.
This young lady would like to take your picture.
Oh, and okay. Thank you. I talked with Emily, yes. Do you want me to stand with you? Sure.
I did.
Trying to look as much like as they could. Through dogs.
All right. That's it. Are you finished? Did you say you wanted more? You know, it's really okay. Wait a minute, don't go. I'll say I want to hug you. Or even by the I won't go. I want to. She's done. But I can see that. I can see. Oh, just be talking. Yes. Okay. Oh my God. Thank you. You were great. You were terrific. Yeah. That was a beautiful thing. I'm serious.
It's Wendy.
Wendy?
Roberta, congratulations again. Ryan,
And then you're the associate dean of urban. Have a good weekend. Okay.
He left out the name, so you didn't have to worry, right? Or no incriminating anybody.
Yes, I do.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.